One of the things I'm always thinking about is how do we make an experience that's meaningful to the kids?
In general, we have a pretty good idea on how to accomplish a lot of the solutions and the different tools and materials that the kids are going to need. But no matter what we come up with and no matter what we plan, once we give it to the kids and we let their imagination run free, we're always amazed with the kinds of solutions and the kinds of ideas that they're coming up with.
I would think, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Conversation, thinking about, maybe even asking them questions at the very start of the class about what they're interested in. And I think in general, we know that middle school kids really love music. And if we give them an opportunity to do something where they can choose the sounds or choose the music that they're going to put together.
Tools like Little Bits and Makey Makey give kids a lot of scaffolding. So you can build something that really works. It ended up letting kids produce things that without those tools, never in a million years would they have been able to produce.
And giving the kids the motivation of working on the projects is to give them ownership of the projects. So every project we created, whether it was with the Makey Makey, the Arduino, the Little Bits, no matter what we did, we kind of left it open-ended and we let the kids pick from an array of projects so they could all pick something that interests themselves.
To me, it's all about authenticity. It's all about a kid feeling like this is a real problem. This isn't something artificial that the teacher just created for me because this is school and this is what we're supposed to do.
And at the end of each project, each kid has something they can hold in front of them as something cool, individual, and something they created themselves was a huge motivator for a lot of the students.
One of the things I always have a hard time with is balancing the things that kids want to do with the things that you need them to learn so that they can do the things that they want to do.
Sometimes when they ask me a question, I tell them I don't know, and they don't believe me. They don't believe me. They say,
"What are we paying you for?"
Yeah, they say I'm the teacher. I know everything. Why won't I give them the answer? But sometimes I really don't know, and the whole point of the class is to kind of get them to think in a different mode, to kind of work towards finding their own solutions. Kids start out the projects and as they're first getting started, they don't have a realistic grasp on their own skill level and on the tools that they have available. And at first, we don't want to really limit them because we want them to kind of reach for the sky and make something really cool and special. But realistically, our job as teachers somewhat is to kind of ground them a little bit.
Grades are used for a lot of things, and they're good at some things. I mean, they're pretty good at ranking our students, and grades are pretty good at motivating people to behave in certain ways. But neither one of those things says a whole lot about learning and what a kid has learned. There are so many things that go into a grade that I can't imagine doing a course like this and grading it.
Some kind of either checklist system or continuing to have interviews with them where we make notes, where we videotape as you had suggested, and the conversations are important. Having them give us feedback is very important.
In a course like this, the main way that we kept track of students' progress and we assessed their learning was by spending time in the class working individually with each of the groups. There were days in the class where at the end of the project we would spend a whole class period or two doing a share out where we give every single group an opportunity to share their project with the class, the different materials and skills that went into constructing it, how it works, and the different challenges that they ran into, and give them a chance to show their project off to the entire class, let the entire class ask questions of them.
I think that it really helped them to become more creative thinkers and to become better problem solvers and to look at materials that they may not have seen as having any purpose before.
Took the class who struggle in a lot of their other subjects or aren't the most organized learners. And they started the class and and they just really didn't have confidence in themselves that they were able to take a whole bunch of materials at the start and build something really amazing at the end.
So they're at a point now where they have this interest and this passion brewing within them to continue the journey into learning how to really make things work and finding the tools to do that. See how you can bridge the gap between making things, building things, and actually making them work using technology.
What we had yesterday, it worked, but you said we could do better, so I'm trying to make it better.